Hello, my name is Steve, and this is the story of the giant ant of Dugway Proving Grounds. Out in Utah, there's an army base called Dugway Proving Grounds, and it's a place back in the day, or maybe they still do today. I'm not real sure, but they used to test nuclear stuff. I don't know what I can say here on YouTube, but things to go, bang. And I was in the reserves at this time. This was we're talking like 2000, maybe 2001. I'm not sure. I joined in October of 1999. But we get out there, and I remember when we got out there, and I'm like 19, 18 at the time. And I remember when we got out there, they said, if you see any sand and it's a different color, like it looks like Kool-Aid or something, don't touch it. And so we're always joking around. Like we would have like our powder mixed from like MREs and stuff, and we would mix it in with sand, and like we were joking around and stuff the whole time we were out there. But one time, me and he was like my best friend at the time, we were walking through the desert, and we saw a bunch of ants, and these were just like normal regular size ants. And but right in the center of all these ants was an ant that was about this big, and everything, like, I can't remember too much from science, but like the thorax and all that stuff, there's like 3 different sections. They were huge. Like I said, it was about this big. Like the ant would have sat like in your hand like that. Normal, just it looked identical to the other ants around it, but this ant was giant. It was like a reddish looking color, like a reddish brown from what I can remember. And the thing that I remember the most about it was its eyes. It had like googly eyes that, like, I don't know. It looked like a cute little like cartoon animal that you would have seen on like a Pixar movie or something. But it was this ant right in the center. And my buddy lost it. And he made me watch the ant. And he ran back to, we had all these tents set up in the middle of the desert. When I first joined the Army, I used to work on radios, and this was like a switchboard room that we had. But we had a coffee. It was a Maxwell House metal coffee can. And he, I think, dumped out like what was in the coffee can. Probably got in trouble for that. But and he ran out and he scooped up the ant. And he puts the ant in his can. We put some sand in it and stuff. And we were laughing. We were talking about what we wanted to, to feed it, to keep it alive. And we got back to the thing. We set it up next to the switchboard. And everybody kept coming in the tent, like all these higher ups. We were like in a higher up area. It was a brigade level, and I was real low, but like I said, I was a switchboard operator. But all these people kept coming in the tent to see the ant. And my buddy came up with the idea that he wanted the ant to die, because he didn't feel safe with it alive, and he didn't know how he was going to get back. But he was in college at the time, and he wanted to have people look at this ant, and he wanted to sneak it like home. And but he let everybody look at it. But so we were like starved, like we figured it would starve. We didn't know what would happen, so we got the bright idea. He did. He wanted to put scorpions in it to see what would happen. So this guy, he was from down south, he was able to like pick scorpions up from the back, and he was picking them up, and he dropped them in the coffee can. And the scorpions were like kind of angry with it, but like nothing really happened. The next morning, the 2 scorpions were gone, and there was just like parts of their like pincers and their like tail left. And the ant was just fine, walking around with these googly eyes, like looking up at us. So we were convinced that this was some kind of like nuclear abomination that happened or something like that, defect or whatever. So we ended up coming out of the field, and we was back in like a little barracks area, and he had the ant in a coffee, in the same coffee can, and he had it in one of these like old wall lockers. Anybody that was in the military, probably from like the 70s up until I'm gonna say mid 2000 and like 10s or something, they had metal, these metal wall lockers that like I could hear them in my head right now. They were but and he locked it, and he was always had it locked in the wall locker. Well, one day out of the blue, they told us that they were taking us on a MWR trip to, it was called Wendover Casino, and it was half in Nevada, half in Utah. And I remember because it was called the State Line Casino in Wendover. And right in the middle of the casino, they had a line down where like you had to pay different taxes on one side compared to the other side. And we went there. We had a good time. It was out of nowhere. They just said, hey, they made everybody go. Because I remember I wasn't 21, so they actually kind of made a thing about it. But they wanted me to go. They got everybody out of the barracks. Everybody went. And when we came back, that lock was broke, and it was gone. And they didn't steal nothing. He had like expensive stuff, like at this time, like he like CD player and like headphones and stuff, which now everybody's probably laughing, but back then it was kind of like a big thing. He had all kinds of stuff. I think an expensive pair of sunglasses and stuff, and it was all still there. And it was just gone. And if you ask me, I think that we were around colonels. It was a lot of colonels, majors, stuff like that. And if you ask me, I think he talked to enough people, and they came and they broke it up. They broke it. They got us out of there, and they broke the ant out of the wall locker, and they set it free. But that is the story of the giant ant of Dugway Proving Grounds. I really appreciate it. Hey, please, I'm a disabled veteran. I got hurt. I can't work no more. And old back injury, came back from my time in service, and it's been pretty rough. So I started this channel, hopefully to make something out of it. I really have no direction of where I'm going, but just kind of playing it by ear, going by the seat of my pants, seeing what sticks and what don't. So, but please put stuff in the comments if you think what the ant might have been, if you've been to Dugway Proving Grounds, if you've been to that casino, if you just have any questions whatsoever, please put them in the comments. I'd really like to meet all my subscribers and talk to you guys. I can't believe I'm almost at 3,000 subscribers. That's like wasn't on my radar. I never thought that would be something I'd be able to do. But hey, thanks to everybody, and talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.